That is the model I made for Cygnus before.
Nice. And he had a mask, so I'm glad I remember you didn't know his face.
Yeah.
And you truly do have super senses, because that suit has built-in antiperspirant. Moisture wicking and everything. All right, here we are. Let's recap. You captured this man in broad daylight by kind of not ramming his vehicle, but jumping onto it, and kidnapped him, and then frightened him into telling you all kinds of information that he is very scared about having given you. However, doing all of this in the name of trying to get to the bottom of what is going on here. All this strangeness. There's the new curfew, these new police weapons that have happened, that you've been encountering. And you're finding that the man behind a lot of it is Harrison Woods. Now, what his purpose is, what his involvement is, it's not super clear. And it's just that he wants you two to stop being involved, stop trying to investigate things, stop messing around with his plans. And naturally, your first reaction is to continue messing around with his plans. So you've planted a bug,
obviously,
on this character that you had kidnapped, and then you let him go. And as you were letting him go, something really strange happened. The monstrosity was struck with 2 darts and knocked unconscious somehow. And so you have an unconscious monstrosity in your in your van there, Vixen. What do you do? You said you were driving out of the parking lot, leaving Cygnus behind, or at least his alter ego, whatever his name may be.
I'm feeling like it's unsafe to return to the foxhole at this particular point, so I'm gonna give Martin a call and see. We'll basically update him as far as what we know and what the plan is, and then drive around for a while.
I'd like it if the plan could include me not dying, if that can be on the table.
Yeah, fair enough. So if it means just pulling over to somewhere a little more inconspicuous, and just doing what I can for first aid and checking vitals and stuff like that.
Yeah. I would say that your van is equipped with some emergency care, healthcare items. So yeah, you're able to get some vitals off him. He seems to be conscious, but there seems to have been some kind of not conscious. He seems to be fine. He's not dead. His vitals are fine. He's breathing and his heart is beating. You get the sense that he was knocked unconscious by whatever these things were. It would take a little further analysis to examine what these things were that struck him, to get more information about how you could help him. Are you going to call for a friend to help you do that?
Yeah, well, good old Martin, see what he knows anyways.
Okay, so you call him up and he says, you said I could do it here, but you said that it's not a good idea for you to come back here right now. And at this point, we could probably get you to declare a contact that you and Martin know that you could go to for this kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Who's going to be?
The one that popped to my mind is, I know my ex-wife is a nurse, but I don't think I've introduced you guys to her, and I don't think that's likely to happen, so I don't think that's on the table.
don't think
You
that's...
could declare it. You could say that you do know her.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's say I check your phone. You've got
Sure.
her in there. I'm just like, wow, he's got, she is 9 of his 11 most recent calls. This seems legit. And she's in there as having the same last name as you.
You know what? In my phone, yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think in the world she's taken back her maiden name, but
in your
my phone, I'm in denial. Yeah.
Yeah, it might save your life.
Is name and describe the contact. I think we already have a name. Do you recall her name?
Carmela.
Carmela.
Yeah.
Carmela.
Yeah.
Medina was your name, so it's in there as Carmela Medina.
She sounds very beautiful. Rolls off the tongue wonderfully.
And what is her actual maiden name?
Geez.
I'm gonna say Trujillo.
I don't. Sure. I'm sure I have it like written down somewhere, but not here. But
Trujillo rings a bell, but that might be because I was reading it earlier during prep time. But anyway, that's what it is now. Canon.
Okay.
Camila Trujillo, and you give her a call. Now, it says when you declare contact, say why the contact owes you a favor, or why you owe them a favor. I'm curious to hear you explain that. You had not met her previously. We're kind of going with that.
Yeah, I don't think it's us that the favor is owed. We're hoping to cash in on the relationship. I think it's been explained previously that his wife is a nurse, and that there's maybe some trouble there.
He has been.
The last time we spoke, she asked me not to contact her again. So I mean, she may not pick up the phone, but if she knows what's going on, I don't think she'll let me die. Or whatever's going on with what I've been hit with. And she would be more familiar with my condition than the average ER doctor.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you give her a call, and she said, she picks up and she says, "I told you, Dante, I don't want to deal with this anymore."
This isn't Dante.
What? Who are you?
Carmela, my name is Renee Pierce. I'm a friend of Dante's, and he's spoken about you a couple of times, and he really needs your help at this point. And I don't exaggerate when I say it might be a matter of life or death.
Are you involved in his superhero nonsense?
Hopefully not for very much longer.
She freaks out. She's talking a mile a minute. She's talking about how he shouldn't have been involved in all of this, and how it's ridiculous to be going around pretending to be something you're not. He was really good man, and that he's really being a dinosaur really went to his head, and all this kind of stuff. And she says, "What's wrong with him? What's going on?" She's like, Is he shot? Is he hurt? Is he stabbed? Has he been run over by a car?
I'm going to tell her a little bit that we're running. We're running from the authorities, essentially, and we don't know why. But we know that he needs help, and he needs it soon, and we need to make sure that he is safe, and you're safe, and everybody close to this stays safe.
All right, I need you to hit the street. You need to
rolled 11.
Okay, well, there you go. You get what you want, and you don't even have to. Oh, and you also get a little something extra, so you get some intel or gear.
Ooh.
Intel, I think, would be good.
Okay. So she finally answers, said, fine. Bring him by. Bring him by our house. And she gives you the address. When you finally arrive there, she kind of meets you in a garage. And very different reaction to what you might have expected given the phone call. She's very worried. And she's kind of clucking and humming over him. And she says, here, are you able to carry him? He's very heavy. Can we, and she asks if you can try and work together to get him down onto a little gurney that she has pulled out in the garage. And she has a kit there that she's working on, and she takes a little vial of blood. She has to like try a few times to find a place on his skin that is soft enough to actually get it. But this isn't the first time that she's had to do it.
Like a 24 gauge needle.
Right. But, she manages to get what she needs, and she says, he's been tranquilized. There's some kind of tranquilizer in him. I think he'll be okay, but the stuff that's in him right now would kill an ordinary human. I mean, it would kill an elephant if you gave it to that. But he's breathing. His vitals would be fine. Once it makes its way through his system, he should be awake. Who did this to him? Oh, wait. You know what? It's better I don't know. Don't tell me anything. Do you really wear that mask all the time? She said.
Yeah, I know. It's not exactly good for making friends, but at this point, I'm scared to take it off.
You know what? I don't want to know who you are, because then if they ask me, I can tell them I don't.
I'm a friend.
Are you really? I think a friend would make him stop. Then she turns on her heel and walks out of the room. What do you do? For interest's sake, because it might affect your plans, she is able, if you wish, to give him a not an antidote, but a stimulant that would help him to regain consciousness. If you wait,
mild anesthetic.
Right? I mean, mild for an elephant.
Yeah, fair enough. I'll ask her if there's any way we can speed it up. I don't want to stay in any one place for too long, if we can avoid it.
Yeah. She kind of pulls off things. She administers it to him. It'll take a few minutes to kick in, and she kind of leaves the room. She's gone for maybe 5 or 10 minutes, and then she kind of pokes her head back in. And around that time, Dante, or the monstrosity, your eyes flick open. And take a deep breath. And the first face you see
What's going on?
is Carmilla. And she smacks you. What's wrong with you? I told you to stop messing with my life. here you are, and you're involved in it, and the police are chasing you, and she starts crying and yelling and nagging and scolding you, and it's clear that she's very happy that you're fine.
I'm gonna be bold here, and I'm going to hug her and hold her.
Okay, she is not having it. She is pushing away from you. I see it, like she's not relaxing into it or anything, just like fighting to execute herself. I mean, you could easily overpower her if you want.
No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not.
She does not want to be hugged.
Okay.
You need to get out of here now.
Okay, let's get out of here now. He's heartbroken, but he nods and he tries to get to his feet.
So you're able to get to your feet. You're able to crawl back out to the battle van, which is, I don't know, did you park into the garage? It probably would fit in a normal garage. But yeah, you get back into the battle van. What are you going to do next?
Can I give her a quick comfort of support
pull out of the garage
on the way out?
And pulling up, just as you're pulling out, is a police cruiser. And as soon as your battle van emerges from the garage, the police officer's eyes go wide. Vixen, you can see him in the front seat, and he's like parking. He's like driving up, and he's face to face with you. What do you do? Carmela is standing at the window with a phone to her ear.
Uh-huh.
Do you just go? Do we just bail?
I'll love with you. Monstrosity is kind of like considering just turning himself in at the moment if it's the cops. He feels awful to have put this on his ex-wife yet again.
Okay. I got flash grenades on my gadgeteering as a quick draw.
You gave those up for another grappling hook, and then for bugs. And if you give up the bugs, you don't have that set up for the mall anymore.
Right. Okay. Never mind.
He is first to react, and he is opening the door to his car and reaching for his sidearm.
You just got to peel out, I think.
All right, I'll follow Vixen's lead then.
Okay. Yeah. I want you to act under pressure, please. And again, you're driving. This is you're both in your wheelhouse today. Monstrosity is just being a monster, and Vixen is driving. Who knew you were so good at it?
Yeah, jeez, I love that. All right, there we go. Grab away. Oh, you're kidding me. I got snake eyes.
Okay.
Ooh.
Was not expecting this one. What? +3. So 5.
Not good enough. Oh man, I actually have to look at my list now. That's got to be a hard move.
Dang it.
So describe how you were trying to leave. because the police car was pulled up basically nose to nose. I mean, there's a little bit of room to maneuver, but are you gonna like graze the police vehicle as you're going by? Are you going to push it out of the way? Are you going to? I mean, those are kind of your options to get past it. So describe which one you choose.
Yeah, so if we're nose to nose and the officer is getting out of the driver's seat, I'm probably just gonna peel sort of to the other side and hit the car.
So a couple of things happen at once. One, your battle van hits the police cruiser, and the damage that you got before is now compounded to the point that the battle van stalls. And at the same time, the police officer gets a couple of rounds off. And I don't know if there's such a thing as bulletproof rubber. So I'm going to say that maybe one of his shots hits your tire and you are severely incapacitated in your battle van as you're trying to escape. What do you do?
Oh man. Okay. Are we
All
in
right,
like
I think
is this like suburbia? What kind of neighborhood are we in?
This is like, yeah, not suburbia, but it's definitely like so I think we described you living in a house, is that right?
correct. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was in some kind of a suburb, maybe something out of not in the city proper, but out of town.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
like a county or something just outside. And so it's like it's a subdivision. It's like, let's imagine a cul-de-sac. You're in a cul-de-sac somewhere in suburbia. Nice bungalow.
I think still want to run. A monstrosity would just get out of the van and
Monstrosity is feeling some feelings right now, so he might be just like stepping out of the battle van, grabbing this this police car and flipping it.
All right. Are you unleashing your powers or being the monster?
your wife is gonna be pissed.
My wife is going to never speak to me again. She's never even going to pick up the phone again. She's going to block my number. I'm going to be dead to her after this, but yeah, I'm going to be the monster.
Roll it.
$13.
You're so scary.
Oh, scared.
Yeah. All right. Choose one of the three options. I'm imagining you want to frighten the police officer into doing nothing, like.
Yeah, into just like letting us walk away if that's the only option left.
Freeze. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so you definitely get that, and you get to choose one of the options.
I'm actually kind of torn because, yeah, I like feeling like more of a monster afterward. That almost feels like a given, but I also feel like I'm going to unintentionally frighten my wife. So
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, given the situation, I think it makes sense for both. Let's get you to mark the condition. Okay.
okay.
And I pick, you're definitely not afraid. I think you feel hopeless.
Yeah,
hopeless.
Pretty much. I
rage and desperation and hopeless at the same time. The police officer freezes. He's got his gun like this. You definitely have an opportunity to knock it out of his hands, Vixen, if you want.
Do it.
Sorry, I missed that.
I'm saying you definitely have an opportunity to knock the police officer's gun out of his hands.
Yes, let's do that.
Okay, so you've disarmed him, and he's frightened, and you see now Carmela is in the window and shouting into the phone, holding it away from her face. You can't hear what she's saying, but she's obviously upset about this turn of events. What do you do?
You take the cruiser.
He flipped the cruiser.
Oh,
Your battle
he
man.
flipped the cruiser. Never mind. We can't take it.
It's not like
Either we get away on foot or we take your wife's vehicle.
I'm not gonna do that.
Okay.
I'm not taking my wife's vehicle. I mean, I feel awful enough about what I've done to her already. I'm not adding Grand Theft Auto to that.
Fair enough. Probably pretty pissed at me as well. So let's get out of there on foot.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. I'm gonna get Martin on the phone and see if he can come pick us up.
Yeah.
So we get into some like park where there's not much for lighting or something like that. I don't know.
They run off on foot and arrange for a pickup.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, you're in a bad way. So you managed to get to this park and you're kind of waiting around for a pickup. Do you want to talk to each other?
Yeah, probably.
I think Monstrosity is just actually gonna break down. He's just gonna start weeping the minute he stops moving.
Try to comfort or support. Just, say something to the effect of, I don't know what it was that just happened. I don't know what has happened leading up to this. I know that she cares enough about you that she just saved your life. And you don't have to say anything right now. But you're not alone, I guess.
And after weeping for like a good solid like 5 minutes, he's just going to suddenly stop, and he's going to stand up and say, I'm gonna get this Harrison Woods guy if I have to tear the whole city apart to do it.
Right, Vixen, roll plus mundane. Monstrosity, you may mark potential or clear a condition or stress. I'm going to say that you definitely incurred 1 point of stress from the effects of the toxin.
Yeah, I've got some competing drugs in my system right now. So.
You have, of course, the condition of feeling hopeless. Hopeless, I don't think you can clear. Let's say you can clear it. You can clear it if you wish.
I'll clear the stress.
Okay.
How do you clear hopeless? That's the only one I don't have.
hopelessness is cleared.
So that's -2 to unleash your powers. That's a big hit for you, especially.
Yeah. Especially for me, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Clearing condition to clear hopeless. Fling yourself into easy relief.
What does that mean?
So drinking?
I think
Escapist?
there's definitely some kind of escapism. Let's do the final scene where, not the final, but a good way to wrap it up, I think, would be to eavesdrop on Cygnus as he goes to the meeting. So you get picked up in time by your brother. He's driving in his vehicle now, and he's a little seems a little upset that the battle van isn't with you. And so he's pretty quiet on the way back. But you manage to get back to your base, taking obviously a few precautions to avoid being followed back to your lair. In the lair, you're there against Martin's bank of computers, and you get to basically listen. There's not really a great way to interact, but I think what has happened so far counts in terms of getting things. And the way you're going to get more information is by spending intel, which you've worked hard to gain. So you get there. The bug is auditory only, so you don't get a picture, but it does also have a location. So it's kind of like pinging his location, and you can see following on a map that he enters the mall, and you hear all of the sounds of a busy mall, lots of chatter, a little bit of pop music playing over the speakers, and after a while you hear like orders being called out. You hear the sizzling sound. You can kind of take a guess that he's sitting in a food court somewhere, and you hear kind of a rustling sound as he sits down, and then there's some gap of time until finally a voice says, "So you're here?" "Yep," says Cygnus. The boss says hi. He wants to say hi to the people who are listening to you too. "What do you mean?" "I mean that you're carrying a wire." "No, I'm not. I wouldn't. I promise. I swear." "You are, whether you know it or not. Frankly, it doesn't matter. Either way, you're not really any use to us anymore." "No, wait, I can explain, please. It wasn't my fault. They came and followed me to my..." It's like, "I don't want to hear it. But here's the message for your friends. You need to be removed because there's a new order coming to Halcyon City. And there's not really any room for people like you. There are going to be enough friends in high places to make sure that only the ones that we want to have are around. But just to show you that we don't do this out of ill will, the boss wants me to send you an invitation. Open invitation to the Woods house. I think you can figure out how to get there. Do you want to spend a point of intel?
Yes.
To get more information?
Yes.
Few things have been set in motion to help encourage you to take this invitation seriously. That little lady of yours, Monstrosity, big purple man. There's somebody who's taken an interest in her, taken her on an outing, let's say. And we want to make sure that if you want to make sure that she is fine and treated well, then you're going to come to that meeting. you want to spend another?
Yep.
Yep.
Keep in mind that I think at this point it's probably pretty safe, but at the end, when you think you have enough information to make a bust, you'll want a few points of intel to add to your roll. How many do you have left?
2.
This would be our last one if we use it now.
There's still plenty of playtime left. I think we'll have to have another.
I fit. That's kind of what I was figuring too. That like, I'm okay with like breaking even for this session.
So I think, but Eric, you get a name. But Eric, I mean, Mr. Lindstrom, they told me that they were going to be quit. They were done. They weren't going to. Shut up, you. They put a bug on you. Do you think that they're quitting? Do you think that they're giving up? You're such a fool. So they gave you a name to go on, Eric Lindstrom. And,
Eric Lindstrom.
Yeah. You definitely get the sense that from what he said that there is a plan in place to remove specifically superpowered people who are not sympathetic to whoever the boss is that he's referred to. And you've already had that piece, of course, the boss being
Harrison Woods.
Harrison Woods. Yeah.
So they've got people kind of placed around the city, kind of in positions of authority and power, and there's some kind of a change that is going to be affected in the city at some indefinite point in the future. You have been invited to the Harrison residence to discuss this further. And the final thing you hear through the computer is this crunch and whining sound of the bug on Cygnus being destroyed as he continues to plead for the sake of his family. So things did not get better. They definitely got worse.
Oof.
Indeed.
Yeah, a couple of real surprises in there. The trank darts and the cops showing up at your wife's place, that all sucked.
Yeah, it's definitely. Yeah, I definitely hope you're feeling the sense that you're on the run.
Well, yeah. But also, like, if we're gonna do something, we better do it fast and better do it right the first time. Oof. Alrighty.
Yeah, it's time to go.
Yeah, it's bedtime.